Om Jananim Saradam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Shritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu. Please sit erect and with your limbs as comfortable as possible, your body, and with your back erect and your head, neck erect. Close your eyes. Try to withdraw yourself from external sound and concentrate in the space of the heart, your luminous self. I will chant Om. After 5 minutes I will again chant Om. Then you can slowly open your eyes. Shanti mantra. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shanti mantras, in English called peace chants, are prayers for peace at 3 levels or freedom from suffering at 3 levels. That is why there are 3 Shantis. At the individual level, Adhyatmika, from suffering caused by our body and mind. At the level of interactions with other beings, Adhi Bhautika, for freedom from suffering caused by other living beings. At the level of divine forces or natural forces, Adi Daivika, for freedom from natural calamities, etc. This mantra, this Shanti mantra is generally chanted or recited before a typical classroom scenario is begun. A teacher-taught relationship. Saha means together, Naha means we, Avatu, we will grow together. Saha now Bhunaktu, we will nourish ourselves together. Saha Viryam, Viryam with vigor, Karavavahai, let us start this endeavor of learning. Both of us, the student and the teacher. Tejasvina adhitamastu. Let us learn whatever we will learn with lot of tejas. Tejas means lot of energy, lot of sharpness, lot of vigor, lot of splendor. Let us learn that. Tejasvinavadhitamastu. Ma vidvishavahai. Let us not have any kind of animosity between us. Vidvesha. Let there not be any kind of ill feeling between the teacher and the taught. Today we will start the discussion of a small text, very simple text in Sanskrit called Tattvabodha. Tattvabodha. It is very important, though we are starting it after you have been already introduced to Ishavasya Upanishad, which is considered to be the most difficult Upanishad of all the 10 Upanishads on which Shankaracharya has written commentary. Some people say it is 11. The most difficult is considered to be Ishavasya Upanishad, though it is one of the smallest Upanishads. And you have also been exposed already to Vivek Chudamani, which is a Prakarana Grantha, again written by Shankaracharya. Also you have seen many chapters of the Bhagavad Gita. You have been taught Aparokshanubhuti, which is also very classical text on Advaita Vedanta, and then recently we went through Katha Upanishad. Actually this text Tattvabodha should have been taught to you first, or we should have discussed this text first, but as things happen, this is coming in this course of things, and I suggest that please participate in this discussion, because this will help you to understand any Vedanta text. These are definitions of different terms used in Vedanta texts, and they have been put in a very simple Sanskrit, and also it is generally believed that this text has been written by Shankaracharya himself, though there is a controversy, and we Indians love controversies. So practically there is hardly anything political, social or otherwise where we do not have any controversy. So we like controversies. So here also there is a controversy whether Shankaracharya wrote this or not. Controversy or otherwise, it is a wonderful text, and we will see that text. So as far as the discussion of this text goes, we will adopt a method of slow but steady, and I would request you to repeat the text itself, because as you will see, these sentences are some things which you need to know. Just like we memorize certain basic formulae and remember it for the rest of our lives, similarly as far as Vedanta is concerned, these basic definitions should be remembered for the rest of your life. So introduction to Vedanta. Introduction you all know. I take it that you are all very good in English. That may or may not be the fact, but I take it anyway. And to is a preposition. Interestingly, prepositions are some parts of speech in English which very few people have mastered. So that also I consider you know what is the function of to. Then we come to the word Vedanta. Interestingly, many Sanskrit words have been now taken directly into Oxford dictionary. So Vedanta, what is Vedanta? This is a question. Vedanta, if you break it up into two, it's a combination, it's a compound word consisting of two words, Veda and Anta. Veda and Anta. Like most of the classical languages in the world, like Latin, Greek and also Sanskrit, every word can be traced to a root word. In Latin, Greek and Sanskrit and also in French, every word can be traced to a root word. So Veda plus Anta leads to Vedanta. Vedanta means Veda plus Anta. Now this Veda plus Anta leads to the combination Vedanta, but this Veda itself derived from a root word that is called Dhatu. Dhatu. the same word which is used to mean a metal in Sanskrit or in other languages also, dhatu. So, dhatu, this root word is used to mean dhatu. Now, what is the root word in Vedanta? Veda, the root word is vid. Vid. Vid is the root word. Every root word has some meanings. Interestingly, as far as Veda is concerned, the root word has 4 meanings, but that is not the interesting part. The interesting part is that Veda can mean all the 4 meanings. So, generally a root word has many meanings, and out of that root word many words are formed, and some meanings of the root word is taken in those words. For example, there is this word called sri. So, it has got many meanings, but sarpa does not mean many meanings. Sarpa just means something which can crawl. So, crawl means slither, the exact word is slither. So, that is sarpa. Sansara means another meaning, it means something which is going on and on in a cycle. So, the root is same, the root has got different meanings, but every word has got a different meaning. In the case of vid, this word Veda has acquired all the meanings of the root word vid. What are the meanings? First meaning is jnana. Jnana means knowledge. Knowledge, first meaning of the root word is jnana. Jnana means knowledge. Now, in knowledge, we all think that we know what is knowledge, but unfortunately we do not know. There are 2 kinds of knowledge. What are they? One is paravidya, another one is aparavidya. This is the Sanskrit terminology. Paravidya, aparavidya. But what does it mean? Mediate knowledge, immediate knowledge. Mediate knowledge. What is mediate knowledge? A knowledge where there is a medium. A knowledge where there is a medium is called a mediate knowledge. Immediate knowledge, knowledge which has no medium, is called immediate knowledge. Simple definition. Knowledge without any medium. So, immediately the question may arise, what kind of knowledge is there without any medium? There is some knowledge, and that knowledge is spiritual knowledge. So, all the science, all the secular subjects and also the religious subjects are all mediate knowledge. They are all paravidya. Paravidya. They are all taught by somebody, written in some form, etc., etc. So, they are different type of knowledge. Swami Vivekananda says that Vedas are the only religious texts bold enough in the world to say that they are useless. So, Veda says, what does the Veda say? It says that it is useless. By reading Veda alone, you cannot. Na tarkena matirapaneya. Or by, you cannot understand your true nature by just reading the Vedas, scriptures. No other religious text will tell you this, but this is what it says, and that is true. Why? Because there is duality, the reader and the text which is read. So, we are talking about non-duality, oneness, or only one will be there. So, there will be no difference between the read and the reader. So, not only secular sciences, some people do the mistake of thinking that secular sciences are mediate knowledge, but not spiritual science or spiritual texts. Spiritual texts are also mediate knowledge. Paravidya. Aparavidya is something which you get without any mediation. There is no mind. So, when we study what happens, now we are studying Tattvabodha. So, there is this book, You see this book, you read, and your brain processes the information, your mind thinks, etc., etc. So this is all mediate knowledge. Paravidya. Aparavidya is there is no medium. In that knowledge, there is no mind, there is no brain. You go beyond everything and you get, and that is why it is called aparoksha anubhuti. A realization or an experience which is not paroksha. Para aksha. Aksha means what? Aksha means eyes. But it does not mean only eyes, it means sense organs. So, para aksha means something which is got by the help of external instruments. Aparoksha means which is not got by the help of external instruments, something which comes from within means what? Not only this body or something, it is beyond that. So that is the knowledge which is jnana. But Veda, Vid means both. Vid also means mediate knowledge, Vid also means immediate knowledge. It can be applied to both the terms. And Veda, Swami Vivekananda says, by Vedas no books are meant. So Veda is a mass of knowledge which is always there eternally. And some people, just like to loosely compare, gravitational force, it was always there and Newton found it. And those of you who have not heard this apple thing, so 3 apples changed the world. One that fell on the head of Newton, one that was given by Adam, given to Eve by Adam, one that fell on Newton, and the half bitten apple given to the world by Steve Jobs. So this apple, it fell on the head of Isaac Newton, and he suddenly realized that there is gravitational force, but gravitational force was always there. Similarly, this knowledge is always there. Some people, because of rigorous mental and physical training, they are called rishis, means mantra drashtas, means seers of truth. They got this realization that this knowledge exists. So Veda means a mass of knowledge, but Veda also means the books which you can get from the bookstop or probably from Flipkart or Amazon. So Amazon has opened an Indian version. So you can get from Amazon. What are they? They are the writings of the knowledge which these rishis got. So each rishi got some knowledge and they wrote it down. That is also Veda. But if all these books are burnt, will Vedas be abolished or will Vedas be destroyed? No. Because Veda does not mean any book. Veda means knowledge. So that knowledge will always be there, and by just destroying books you cannot destroy this knowledge. That is the whole idea. And this idea is there not only in Hinduism, it is there in many other religions like Christianity also. Word was God, etc. In the beginning was the Word. And in Western philosophy, this idea is called logos. There is a philosophy for that. In Indian philosophy, this idea is called Spotavada. I will not go into that, but what I am telling is, with the root word with has got one meaning. 4 out of 4 meanings. The first meaning is knowledge. Knowledge can be mediate and immediate. It can be paragyana, aparagyana. So paravidya, aparavidya, and these both meanings are applicable to the word with. What is the second meaning? Existence, satta. When we say sat, chit, ananda, that means what? Sat means it remains. So famously somebody said, cogito ergo sum. Who said so? He said, I think, therefore I am. I think, therefore cogito ergo sum. Therefore I am. So like that, something which is existing always. It is always existing. What is existing? Atman or Brahman is always existing. Sat. So Sat means it exists. It exists. Chit means consciousness. philosopher, Rene Descartes. So, another thing is Chit is consciousness and Ananda means bliss. So, that is your true nature. You always exist. You are full of consciousness. You are consciousness and you are only bliss. So, here Vid also means Satta, existence, in the meaning of existence. Existence means absolute existence, always it exists. So, in the meaning of with knowledge also it is applicable to Vedas, because Vedas are both mediate and immediate knowledge. When it is written down as a text form, it is immediate knowledge, and when it is experienced, it is immediate knowledge. Similarly, it is also applicable for the meaning of existence is also applicable for Veda, because why? Vedas are eternal, they are always existing, they will never be destroyed. Then the third meaning is labha or achievement, attainment. So, Vid has got four meanings. First one was jnana, second one was satta, third one was labha. Suddenly I may feel the desire to ask you these things after maybe a couple of weeks. So, I may ask suddenly that yes, what is the meaning of Vid? This desire can come. No? And third meaning I said is labha. Labha is attainment. So, in this meaning also this is applicable to Vedas, because by studying the Vedas you attain the knowledge both of this empirical world, because in the Vedas it is told how to conduct a sacrifice, etc., etc., and also you get the knowledge of the spiritual life or your true nature. So, you attain this knowledge. So, this attainment or labha is there. So, Vedas can also be given that meaning. Then the fourth meaning is vichara. Vichara means contemplation, analysis, contemplation. So, you have this vichara. Why? So, by this meaning also, this meaning is also applicable to the word Veda. Why? Because by studying the Veda, you are suddenly forced to contemplate. Like some people may be contemplating here, what happened to this person? Suddenly he is talking all this mumbo jumbo. This contemplation may come. Or at best you may contemplate suddenly that Tattvabodha, what does it mean? Like that you can contemplate. Veda leads to contemplation. How? How? So, what is the dictum? What is the command given? The command given in Veda is Shrotavya Nididhyasitavya. So, whenever in Sanskrit you use this Tavya Pratyaya, means this suffix Tavya, that means it is a imperative, it is an order, it is an imperative mood. You have to do, Shrotavya, Mantavya. Shrotavya means listen, Mantavya, contemplate or think, then Nididhyasitavya, contemplate or meditate. So, this order has been given by the Veda. So, Vedas, they encourage you to analyze, just not to take things on the face. So, it is very scientific. What is the spirit of science? To analyze things. You have some data and you analyze that data. You see that data from this angle, from that angle, you kind of do lot of permutation and combination using that data. You try to simulate things, you try to extrapolate things, etc. So, that is what you do also in the true Vedic spirit. That is the point, and that is what Advaita Vedanta says, that your Vedanta is no Vedanta if it does not lead to a spirit of scientific inquiry, if it does not lead to a spirit of something which is doable, which is verifiable and repeatable. If Vedanta is not done in that manner, that is no Vedanta. And Vedanta should lead to a workable hypothesis, and then you work and then you get the result. That is why Swami Vivekananda said, what does Vedanta do? If you are a farmer, it makes you a better farmer. If you are an engineer, it makes you an engineer, etc., etc. So Vedanta gives you the strength. Why? Because it should be on the lines of a scientific inquiry. So Vichara or Vicharana is an integral part of Vedanta. Now these are the four meanings of the root word vid. They are, first word is jnana, second meaning is jnana, second meaning is existence or satta, third meaning is labha or attainment, fourth meaning is vichara or analysis or contemplation. Now then we have also, because we say Veda, so we already mean that this text also, like Yajurveda, Rig Veda, Yajurveda, Sama Veda, Atharva Veda. So in Rig Veda, predominantly they are in the form of rigs or small metric verses which are in the form of prayers. In Yajurveda they are in the form of yajus. They are generally in the form of prose, and in Samaveda they are in the form of songs. They are called Samagita, and in Atharva Veda there are all these three are mixed. So sometimes Veda is called Trayi. So some people wrongly say that Trayi means only Rig Veda, Yajurveda and Samaveda. Atharva Veda is not a Veda, but that is not the meaning. The meaning is, in the Vedas there are three types of texts. One is the hymn, another one is the song, another one is the prose. So Trayi. And Vedas are generally classified, they are generally in three sections. First section begins with Samhita, which contains praises or prayers to different gods and goddesses. Second is Brahmana, where detailed instructions are given how to conduct rituals. Third is Aranyaka, where you are told about the knowledge aspect of the Vedas. But this is not a very concrete thing. Sometimes you will find that the knowledge thing is also there in Samhita or Aranyaka or Brahmana, or prayer is also there in Aranyaka. But generally this is how the classification is done. Now in the Aranyaka portion, the culmination of the Vedas or the best part of Vedas are there, which are also called as Upanishads. While studying Kathopanishad, in the beginning we had studied the meaning of Upanishads. For the fortunate few who remember, they can recapitulate in their minds. For the less fortunate, we will come to that later on. So this Upanishad is there, but some Upanishads are there also in other portions of the Veda. Now Vedanta means what? Anta. Now we saw the meaning of the word Veda. We now come to the next part, Anta. Anta in Sanskrit means end. Anta in Sanskrit means end. So usually, generally, Vedanta as contained in the Upanishads are found in the last portion of the Vedas, that is in the Aranyaka portion. Aranyaka means connected to forest. Aranya means forest. Aranyaka means connected to, or which was told in forest. Why? Which was done in forest? Because these people all took monastic life and they conducted spiritual practices, they did spiritual practices and realized this truth and they told it in the forest. So Aranyaka it is called. So these Upanishads are found in the last part of the Vedas, that is Aranyaka portion. That is why they are called Anta, means Vedasya Antah, Vedantah. The last portion of the Vedas is Vedanta. That is one meaning. In that sense, Veda means those texts, that 4 texts Vedas. There is another meaning. Vedasya anta means the best part of the Vedas, the culmination or the wisdom of Vedas. Anta also means that, the acme, the final, the grand finale of Vedas. What is that? Wisdom of Upanishads. The ultimate knowledge is called Vedanta. So, Vedanta has got these 2 meanings, and with word has got 4 meanings. Now, all of you have become experts on this. So, we move to the next word, which is Tattvabodha. Now, you see, this is another method of learning. Break all words and try to learn. Like small children, all of us, almost all of us have done what? Whenever we got toys, we broke it into pieces and started studying what is the toy all about. And that is why most of you have ended up as engineers. Anyway, so this is what? So now what we do? Tattvabodha. Tattvabodha. Interesting. What does the word tattva mean? Tattva means, it is again, it can be broken. Tat plus tva. So tva is a suffix. It is put in many words, and it generally gives you the meaning of the English word ness. N-E-S-S, ness. Likeness, sameness, durableness. So that tva, samatva, so sama, tva, or in English there is another word, another usage also, ity. So equanimous, equanimity, equal, equality, similar, similarity. So you see ity, we generally don't look at language so closely, but if you look, it is very interesting. Linguistics can be wonderful if you study. So, and there is a whole branch of artificial intelligence devoted only to this language. So what? Equal, equality, similar, similarity, legible, legibility, eligible, eligibility. So like that, tva is used almost in the same manner. What? Brahmana, brahmanatva, means brahmanness, the state of being a Brahman. Monk means what? Sadhu, sadhutva, means the monkness or monkhood. A person who being a sadhu, being a monk. Acharya, acharyatva also, though generally not used, but you can put it like that. So like that. Kriti, kriti means somebody's work. Krititva means the workness, means you have accomplished, accomplishment. Krititva means accomplishment. So attainment, attainment. So krititva. Generally it goes to form a noun. So here tattva. So before we go into this, you have to understand one thing. What is that? There is something called Mahavakya. You are all aware of what is Mahavakya. So now somebody will tell. Now our Devashish ji will tell what is Mahavakya. No, what is Mahavakya? No, only Devashish ji will tell. What is Mahavakya? What is Mahavakya? Pratipadaka Vakyam. See, that is how you should study. Jiva Brahma Aikya Pratipadaka Vakya Mahavakya means Jiva, individual soul. Because of ignorance, you consider yourself individual soul. Brahma, Brahman, the ultimate principle, Brahman, Brahma, not Brahma, Brahma, Brahman. So that this Jiva and Brahman are essentially the same. Aikya, unity of Jiva and Brahma, they are not different. Aikya, Pratipadaka, that which tells that. Vakya, that sentence which tells the unity of Jiva and Brahman is called Mahavakya. So essentially the whole Veda are full of such sentences, great sentences, but great dicta, but representatively 4 Mahavakyas have been selected from each Veda. Aham Brahmasmi, Tattvamasi, Prajnanam Brahma, Ayam Atma Brahma. Aham Brahmasmi, Tattvamasi, Prajnanam Brahma, Ayam Atma Brahma. Now here comes the thing. Generally it is, for the sake of understanding, it is told that the Guru says to the disciple, Tat Tvam Asi. Asi is used in the sense of you. This Asi, Tvam Patasi, you read. Tvam Vadasi, you speak. So, Tat Tvam Asi means you are that. You see, you, it is used for the pronoun you. Sanskrit is a very good language, and nobody till now has got any medical disease or condition by studying this language. So, it is not harmful also. So, Tat Tvam Asi. What does that mean? You, Tat means that, Tat means that means what? Brahman. That principle which is eternal, which is unchanging, which is infinite, that Tvam, you, Asi are. That you are means you are that. You are that. You are that. So, you are that Brahman, that is what it means. So, when the teacher tells that, the disciple thinks about it, analyzes it. Shrotavya listens first, Mantavya analyzes it, thinks about it, Nidhidhyasitavya contemplates on it, meditates on it, does lot of spiritual practice, then realizes suddenly. But don't worry, there will be no halo and all, nothing will happen. Just like that you will realize, like the Zen master, before the enlightenment, what was he doing? He was bringing water and cutting wood. And after enlightenment, what was he doing? He was bringing water and cutting wood. So, externally there will be no change, but internally your whole world view, as in German language, Weltanschauung. See, we are very good, we are okay to use terms from German and French in philosophy, but whenever we have to use terms from Sanskrit, we have got severe allergy problem. So, anyway, so Weltanschauung means world view, how you see the world, that will change. Your whole world view will change. So, this is what? How it will change? By knowing that you are one with Brahman. You will understand that Jiva Brahma Aikya. And then what will you say? You will say Aham Brahma Asmi. Asmi is always used for the pronoun I. So, Aham is I. Aham I. Or Aham I Brahma Brahman Asmi am. So, I am Brahman. Aham I Brahma Brahman Asmi am. I am Brahman. So, when the teacher tells you Tattvamasi, you will immediately say Aham Brahmasmi. The tradition says, generally it is believed that before you go to the teacher, you should have become completely pure in the mind. You should have no kind of distraction. So, we will see that in this text it is all there. And you go just like that, ready. And as soon as the teacher says Tattvamasi, you will also immediately, within a fraction of a second, nanosecond, you will say Aham Brahmasmi. Just like if land is prepared, no, tilled and plowed and made ready, you just sow the seed and put some water, sprout comes out. Similarly, if you have already created yourself, done the basic requirements, eligibility, you have already got that minimum educational qualification, then you go to the class and you understand everything. So, that is why, what is the song? Monre Krishi ka jano na. No. Monre Krishi ka jano na. Manav jomi royulo potito pavo na abad korle pholto sona. So this manav jo mean, this human soil or human field is lying down and uncared for, neglected. You have got this human life and you are totally neglecting it, doing all kinds of things which are common with dogs, cats and other kind of evolved animals. No? So even though you are Homo sapiens sapiens, your evolution is not actually evolving. So you are engaging in the same kind of routine enjoyment and routine running after sense pleasures. But if you knew that Krishi Kaj, if you knew how to farm or cultivate this human life, then if you had toiled or tilled the land, then pholto sona, it would have produced gold. So it would have produced gold. So that agricultural revolution has to be brought in our own lives. So this is what? So Tattvabodha means that. Tattva means tat. That you are that tat means that Brahman, Tva. Brahman. So Tattva means Brahmanatva, means that principalness. Tattva means principalness, being Brahman. Tattva means being Brahman. Tattva. Bodha. Again, Bodha comes from a root which means understanding. Understanding, knowledge. Tattvabodha. Understanding or knowledge. So Tattvabodha. So here our whole aim is to understand that Brahman or that Tattva or that principle. Tat is also noun and Tattva is adjective. Principalness. Principalness. So Tattva, but here Tattva is also used as a noun. So Tattvabodha, you have to understand that principalness. So is it clear? Till now everything is clear. Anybody has got any doubts? No doubts. So now we go to the first mantra of Tattvabodha, Mangala Charanam. Mangala Charanam. Invocation. Generally any text, it could be poetry, it could be a novel, it could be a play, all these texts. In Sanskrit, we have this heritage of starting a text by this Mangala Charanam. I have this philosophy that this tradition is there not only in Sanskrit, in almost all languages. Even today if you read any kind of even novel, pulp fiction, any kind of novel, Jeffrey Archer or some other novel, you will see what, when you open the page, it will be dedicated to somebody, right? Or in some novels it will be like prologue, epilogue, etc. So first it will be dedicated to somebody. So Mangala Charanam means what? Mangala Charanam, Mangala auspicious, Mangala auspicious, Acharanam means some kind of behavior, or here something which you do, action. So Mangala Acharanam, Mangala Charanam. Auspicious action, auspicious action. What does it mean? Before you start any work, this Mangala Charanam is done for some particular reasons. What are the reasons? Number one, for the completion of that work. For the completion of that work. So somebody wants to write a big commentary on a text. So it is a difficult work. How will that person write? So the person sings a Mangala Charanam and says, "Oh Bhagavan, oh God, if at all you are there, please help me," etc. So that is Mangala Charanam. That is one reason for the completion of the text. But then there will be a question that we see that there are some texts which have not been completed, but there is a Mangala Charanam. In Sanskrit there are some texts which have not been completed, it could not be completed, but there is a Mangalacharanam, then the reply is, then you can say that then it is not true, then the reply is that person wanted to complete, but probably the life of that person itself was completed before the work could be completed. So, those things are only exception, but generally one reason for writing or doing invocation is that the thing should complete properly. Second thing is, just like in the novel you see acknowledgements will be given, or in works of non-fiction acknowledgements will be given. So, similarly this is a way to acknowledge one's or pay one's debt or show one's gratitude to the teacher, one's own teacher. So, unless I was taught so many things by my teacher, I would not know these things. So, similarly I am writing this particular book on say optics, and it is a wonderful book I will be writing, but if I did not get a wonderful teacher in IIT Kharagpur, I would not have understood the basic of optics. So, I dedicate my book to Professor so and so, IIT Kharagpur. So, like that in Mangalacharanam you dedicate your work, or you salute your teacher, or you salute your whatever God, chosen ideal, Ishta Devata, your chosen ideal. These are the two main reasons of Mangalacharanam. Third reason is, sometimes in Mangalacharanam what happens is, generally in Indian tradition every book has got 4 aspects. 4 aspects. What are those aspects? Adhikari. First aspect is Adhikari. What is Adhikari? So, somebody has to study MA in sociology, that person should have done BA in sociology, or somebody wants to do MPhil in sociology, should have done MA in sociology. Educational qualification, some qualification. So, somebody who is qualified to study the text could be any text, but to study the text you should have a basic qualification. Sometimes you see this computer Bible and all, there they will be writing that you do not need to know anything about Visual Basic to study this, it is written so nicely, it is just a piece of cake. So, very nicely it is written in this manual. So, like that. So, maybe no qualification is necessary, but that also should be specified, otherwise how does the reader know? So, you have to specify what is the qualification. Adhikari, who is qualified. Then Vishaya, what is the subject of the book? So, somebody writes a book. Nowadays by seeing the book's cover it is very difficult to understand the subject. So, I bought a book, how to talk about books you have not read. Very fascinating title. I read about that book in another book and I thought this is something I can excel at. Without reading a book I can talk about it. So, I went and straight away purchased it. Oh God, afterwards I understood the book is all about loving books. It inspires you to read more books. It does not actually give you a shortcut not to read books. So, anyway I was fooled by the title, but it is a good book anyway. So, how to talk about books you have not read. Similarly, it is very difficult to understand about the book just by the title. So, do not judge a book by the cover. So, sometimes you have to read the book to understand, or at least the foreword to understand what this book is talking about. What is this book all about? The large, the small and the human brain. What is it about? Nobody knows. Roger Penrose, good morning. So, nobody has heard this book, right? Here? Really? Fine. So, I am so glad I can talk anything. So, large and the small and the human brain. The large, the small and the Roger Penrose, all of you should read this book, irrespective of whatever you are studying. So, this book, you do not know what it talks about. Of course, the brain is there, some clue may be there, but still you do not know anything about that book unless you see the blurb and other things. So, Vishaya is very important. What is this book about has to be mentioned. Then Prayojana. What is the utility of this book? I have got lot of work to do. Why should I read this book, Roger Penrose or whatever? So, that is one big thing. And moreover, most of the books nowadays, many books which come are utter trash. So why should you waste your time reading that book? So prayojana, what is the utility? Because in Sanskrit we say prayojanam anuddishya moodo api na pravartate. Even a fool does not act without having some utility in the mind. So you want to do some good work, everybody will ask. You go and help somebody, immediately the question will, what will you get this? आपको क्या मिलेगा इसमें? आप मेरी मदद क्यों कर रहे हो? So that is the question. Even if you want to do something good, people don't accept it. So yes, then the answer should be yes, I will get some good feeling. That is why I am doing it. So yeah, I am not doing it just without any purpose. I have a purpose and I do it either as a spiritual practice or that I get a good feeling. So prayojanam. Then there is sambandha. So sambandha is what is the connection between the subject and the utility. So you say that by reading this book you will get peace of mind, and after reading the book your mind is in pieces. So then what is the connection? No connection at all. You were promised that your mind will have no tension and you have become full of tension after reading the book. So that is why Vishaya, Prayojana, Sambandha, there should be a connection, relation between the subject matter and the utility. So many people write books like that. There is no connection between what they are telling and the title of the book. Sometimes you see films also like that. There is no connection between the title and the film. So Vishaya and Prayojana, and suddenly there is one scene somewhere towards the end of the film just to bring some connection between the title and the film, as though they have imposed it. Sambandha, Prayojana. So these are four things and they are called Anubandha Chatushtaya. Chatushtaya means what? A group of four. Chatushtaya means a group of four. So Anubandha Chatushtaya, these are the four things which are important in any text. One purpose of Mangalacharana is to tell the Anubandha Chatushtaya. One purpose, earlier I told you two purposes. First is to ensure the completion of the work. Second is to pay homage to the Guru or show gratitude to the Guru or pray to God, etc. And third is to tell the Anubandha Chatushtaya, these things. So these are the different reasons for Mangalacharana. Another one reason is also there. You see, in earlier days they did not have that somebody has written a book, Harry Potter, J.K. Rowling, that kind of system was not there, at least in Sanskrit it was not there. So people used to give their autograph in this Mangalacharana. Generally used to come to know about the person's identity from the Mangalacharana. So that also is one purpose, but generally people used to be anonymous. That was our tradition, that people used to do great work but be anonymous about it. So one incident many of you know, but still I can repeat, is that Bhamati. What is Bhamati? No, but what is Bhamati? So this Vachaspati Mishra is called Sarvatantra Swatantra, means he was Advaita Vedanti by his own belief, but he wrote commentaries on all the 6 philosophies of the Indian tradition. What are the philosophies? Sankhya, Yoga, Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Purva Mimamsa and Uttara Mimamsa or Vedanta. So he wrote commentaries on all these texts, but he was not affected by his own, these commentaries did not affect his own belief, or he did not show his own belief while writing those commentaries. So when he writes Sankhya commentary, he writes exactly like from the Sankhya point of view. So he is called Sarva Tantra. Tantra means philosophies, Swatantra, independent of all the philosophies. So Vachaspati Mishra wrote his commentary on Brahma Sutras, which is called Bhamati. How did that get the name Bhamati? So this person was going on writing it for many years. and he was having no clue whatsoever about food and all that thing. He was just writing and writing and writing. So after 20 years they say, this is legend. So they say that he wrote it and finished it everything. Then he found that one woman has come and is giving something to him, water or something. Then he looked at her and said, who are you? So she said, I am taking care of you. I also was thinking, who gave me food and who was cleaning this room and all that, who did that? So I only was doing, who was, that lamp oil has to be put and that wick has to be changed. So who was doing that? So I only was doing that. Oh, acha, who are you? So I am your wife. Oh, you are my wife, okay. What is your name? Bhamati. So he just wrote the name Bhamati, he dedicated that work to her. But now today if somebody is going to do like that, first of all it will not last for 20 years, second there will be a huge diverse problem. But whatever, so this is what, being anonymous. This woman also was anonymous, and in that work Vachaspati Mishra is also anonymous. He gave the whole name to Bhamati. You see, Bhamati. So these are the 3 reasons or 4 reasons of Mangalacharana. First is for the completion of the work. Second is for showing gratitude or prayer to God. Third is to tell what is the Anubandha Chatushtaya. Anubandha Chatushtaya means Adhikari, Vishaya, Prayojana and Sambandha. And fourth is also sometimes to tell one's name, which is not very common but sometimes. So here this is the Mangalacharana or invocation of Tattvabodha. What is it? So now is the difficult part. You have to repeat after me. This is how, by repeating and repeating you will remember. Vasudevendra, Yogindram, Natva, Jnanapradam, Gurum, Mumukshunam, Hitarthaya, Tattvabodho, Abhidiyate, Tattvabodho Abhidiyate, Tattvabodho Abhidiyate. So this is Tattvabodha Abhidiyate. When it is combined in Sandhi, combination, conjunction, it becomes Tattvabodho Abhidiyate. It should be studied like that, read like that. So Vasudevendra means what? Vasudeva plus Indra. What is Vasudeva? What is the meaning of Vasudeva? What is Vasu? Not Vasu, Vasu. Oh, here it should be V-double-A. Okay. What is Vasu? What is Deva? What is the word? Deva. This word Deva comes from the root Div, means light. It is the same word which is used for Divasa, means day. Diva, day. So light. So God, Deva means luminous being. Deva means luminous being. Okay. So Deva means luminous being. So Vasudeva. Indra, Vasudevendra. What is the meaning of Vasu? Belonging to Vasu. Vasudevendra. Vasudevendra means one who rules Vasudeva. One who rules Vasudeva. So generally we use this word Vasudeva for whom? Why? Why? Because the son of Vasudeva. So the son of Dasharatha is called, the son of Janaka is, daughter of Janaka is called, so the son of Vasudeva is called. It is a rule in Sanskrit grammar. Like I told you, Aranya, Aranyaka. Aranyaka, Aranyaka. Janaki, Janaka, Janaki. Dasharatha, Dasharathi. So, Vasudeva, Vasudeva. Indra. So, a person who is Vasudevendra, Yogindram. So, Yogindram, you see everything ends with Anuswara. Anuswara means like that, Vasudevendra. That means